The Academy Sports Bug Out Bag. Let's check it out. When it comes to your bug out bag or your get home bag, you're putting together supplies that you might need in an emergency situation. It puts them in one place. If you need to go, you can grab the bag and you have those essential items. One thing that we love to do is to go to different stores, whether it's big box stores or smaller stores, and just build a bug out bag out of what they have. Sometimes they have everything. Sometimes you really have to make a lot of decisions on how you're going to set up your bag. We just went to Academy Sports. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I knew that they would have a pretty decent selection on all the items that we were looking for. And so we are going to put together a bug out bag. Going to go through all the contents, and we're going to be giving this bag away on suitsgear.com for the month of March. So check out suitsgear.com. Now, one great thing about Academy Sports is they have a lot of sporting goods, including firearms and fishing gear, but they also have items for hunters, for hikers, campers, just a lot of things. So when we went into the store, we knew that we would find typically the items that we needed. Now, one thing about this time of year is that they were restocking. So while we did find a lot of cool stuff, it was a little bit scarce, which isn't typical for your Academy Sports. So we're going to go through each item, going to show you the bag, we're going to go through the rule of threes and how we set up a get home bag and bug out bag. So this is just going to be really an exercise to help you to think things through. And if you have limited supplies when you go into a place, you want to buy the best quality you can, but sometimes you need just to get what you can get. And guys, this is not a pack review. Definitely there could be different packs, but if you want just a lot of open space, this is going to be good. But if you want something a little more fitted for organization, you're probably going to have to spend a little more money. So this is just what you're getting, a lot of open spaces, but you can pack those in if you need to. We're going to start out with the Magellan Outdoors backpack. There were a number of different backpacks there. Some were a little more expensive. This honestly was about $50. Not a bad price for what you're getting. Now I have this right now just stuffed so you can see the shape, and we'll get into the inside in a minute. But we have MOLLE attachments here at the front. We have a zipper. Now I really like these pulls, and so it just gives you something to grab hold of, especially in colder weather with gloves. And then of course we have this front pocket, we have a middle pocket, and then we have the main compartment back here. And on the sides, you have some cutouts from MOLLE. They're more just slits. And then we have a pouch right here on the side, and we have a water bottle holder. Now, one thing about this is it has a rubberized or plastic sleeve inside. So in case you have some kind of leak or something, it's not going to mess up your pack and get into your pack. I really like that feature. And then it's just mirrored here on the other side, those same kind of little zipper keepers and another water bottle. And also in here is that same material, and then it has a rubberized material right here facing outside. So I like these pouches. Now one thing about this material is it's some kind of ballistic nylon. It feels like about 500 denier. It's not super thick. I mean, it's got some give to it, but really overall it looks pretty decent. We have a nice grab handle. It is padded, and of course it's stitched. Not sure exactly if it's stitched like box X stitching or anything, but definitely has some good stitching. We have a part here, there's 4 sunglasses, things like that to not scratch, and it has this soft material to keep things from getting messed up. And we actually have one right here that's a little bit larger on the front, and there's no admin, there's no compartments or anything. It's pretty much just what it is. So I really like to keep those items that I need right away in these top pockets where I can get right to them. There is a water hydration port right here, and it is marked with this PVC patch. Then here on the back, we have our shoulder straps. not too thick, but that's okay. And then we have some padding on the back and some air vents that come down, and we do have a sternum strap that actually adjusts up and down. And of course, this is fully adjustable, no waist strap. And the back has this ribbing all the way around it to give it kind of this shape at the back, but then at the front, it kind of slopes a little bit. Now here on the bottom, we have a little zippered pocket as well, and we can keep a rain fly in here, or for that matter, anything you want to, but it does say rain fly compatible. Now in the rule of threes, you have 3 minutes you can live without air, 3 hours in harsh conditions, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food, self-defense, and medical flow in between. So first we're gonna hit the warmth factor. That is for harsh conditions. Having a good pair of socks, especially if you're on your feet a lot, good wool socks that'll drain, that'll keep dry, and you can just set them out. I like to have a couple of pair, and we just have a couple of pair of wool socks. Also, we have a watch cap. You need to keep your head warm, and this will do it. This is a Carhartt, so it's pretty nice. Next is the emergency blanket. This is a space type blanket, but it has the extra material, so you can actually use this multiple times without it tearing. Very similar just to a large blanket, and you wrap yourself around it. The Mylar inside will reflect the heat back on you, and these have been used for emergency services for a long time. Then we have a rain jacket, and this is just a hunting jacket, but it is made as a raincoat and has the camouflage pattern. You could decide on that, but this is just one we found. And it's actually a pretty nice little jacket. Zips up at the front, has pockets, and they're zippered, and it has gusseted sleeves, but you do have adjustments on the sleeve as well with Velcro. So a very lightweight option. And guys, even in the middle of summer, if you have a good rainstorm and you get wet, you can really get cold that night. So having something to be able to keep yourself warm and dry is going to be vital, and it'll just make you a lot more comfortable. Next is our tent setup. Now this is just a big tarp. It's an 8x10. We have paracord, you need cordage, and you need to get 550 cord, which this is. This is 7 strand, and you can use those small strands to do a lot of different things, including fishing, which is going to be important. We also have a carabiner here on the end just to keep this attached. But cordage is vital, and we have some tent stakes. We can set up a shelter with this very easily with these items. Now you can take wooden sticks and make your tent stakes as well, but these are just going to hold up a little bit better, and I saw them sitting there, so I thought this was a really good setup. Then you add your emergency space blanket, and then you've got a way to keep warm and keep your core warm. Honestly, the tarp is large, it's pretty heavy, and I'd really maybe like a smaller one. Again, it's 8x10, so it's going to give you a lot of capacity. It can also be used to shield the wind, but this is what they had, and really it was either silver or that blue color, so we just chose the silver. Having a sleeping bag is going to take up a lot of room, and definitely a tent is going to take up room, so you need to really conserve your weight and your space. But this can also be laid down on the ground, and you can lay on it, you can do tasks on it. There's a lot of different things with a tarp like this, and the inside is brown, so I can flip this over, and I do have that brown color. Next is your fire kit. Now I like to have redundancy, and you won't see a Bic lighter here, even though I do carry Bic lighters. They're the most convenient, but they can have the little button pressed and release all the fuel. Sometimes the striker will seize up, so I don't count on a Bic. But what I like is a ferro rod like this, and it does come with the striker. And guys, you can get thousands of strikes on this ferro rod. I really like to have fire steels. Also, I like these magnesium bars, and this is kind of old school. You do have a rod here, and then you have a striker, but you can cut off some of this magnesium, and it is highly flammable. So this is a great option, and it gives you just another method to create fire. And then we have matches, and these are actually lifeboat matches, which are my preferred choice. You can light these. This whole area will burn, and you can actually dip this in water and pull them out. We've even demonstrated that, but these are really large, so I really like them. And we have a striker here on the side, and it comes with an extra striker as well. And then it's waterproof, so you just lock it up, and it does have a little place here you can attach some kind of cord to it to keep you from losing it. And the other side has a striker on the bottom. And those strikers, after a while, they do get messed up, so it's good to have the redundancy with the striker. But one thing I really like in a fire kit is some kind of fire tinder. And these are tinder tabs. These are used by the U.S. military, and you can take them and fold them out and make them wide and big, and then you can light them with about anything. And so this will help you to get that fire started. I mean, guys, fire cooks your food. It boils your water, gives you heat, gives you light. It can keep predators at bay. You need to have a fire kit, and having redundancy gives you even a better chance. And when it comes to fire, I like to have it separate somewhere, and I like to have a fire kit. And this is just a pouch that they had. It's a little MOLLE pouch, has MOLLE attachments, has a Velcro field, and it has zippers. It only comes down halfway, and honestly, there's no organizational straps or anything, sleeves. It's just open, but it is kind of a rubberized material here on the back and underneath this. So this is going to give you some water resistance. And while I can't really organize it, I can put all my fire tools in here, and that way this is my fire kit. I know when I see it that this is the kit, and so I know where my fire tools are. If I want, I could put some other items in here that I wanted to just have special, that I wanted to know where to get to them. So one of the things about not having organization is you can, stuff will get just packed and placed wherever in your pack. You got to dig through it. This just helps you to find it, you know what it is, and you can get to it. Now next comes water. You can only live 3 days without water. It is vital. You need to have a way to filter water. The Sawyer Mini is a great way to do it. You can use this as a filter straw. It even comes with one. But you can also fill this little pouch up, and you can squeeze it through the filter, and it allows it to have a little more pressure. And then for cleaning, you have this syringe to keep this going. Now this will filter, according to the instructions, 1,000 gallons of water, which is crazy. So you've got 1,000 gallons. I mean, that's 1 gallon per person per day. You've got a lot of time. And then also you need some kind of container. Now this is a Nalgene bottle, and this is not something I would typically carry. I like to have a stainless steel carrier or a titanium water container, but this will do, and they didn't have them there at Academy. But this way you can fill this up, even if you need to fill dirty water, and then you can filter it out. So this gives you a lot of options, and you really do need a container. Next is food. Now this is a Mountain House. You can just add water to it, you can heat it up, and you can make it. It's very simple to do. Really, for a bug out bag, it should be a 72-hour bag, so you'd really need more meals than this, but this is just a good representation. We also wanted to have a sport. This way you've got a way to eat it. And then we have a little cook stove, actually. This is a container, and we can open this up. This is from Stanley. It's really nice. It has the vent holes for you to boil, and you can lift this up and you can pick it up without it burning your hand. But it does have these 2 cups, which are plastic, and that way you can eat out of it, you can drink out of it, and then wash them out, and they nestle together. But here we even have measurements on the side, and we can boil our water. We've got a handle, and we can use that to cook our food, or if we need to boil water to drink, we can also do that. So this is a cool little setup, but actually this is the only one that they had. A lot of times, there'll be different ones, but honestly, I would probably have picked this one anyway. I like this setup. Next, we have Dude wipes. These are for sanitation, for cleaning, cleaning your face, cleaning your hands. But the most important is this can be used as toilet paper. And you don't want to be using leaves or just some discarded paper you find. Wet wipes are going to help you to be a lot more clean, and it's just going to be a better experience overall. And these are extra large. Light is your #1 security tool. You need light. You'll use it more than anything else for security. And having a headlamp specifically, if I only had one type light source, it would be the headlamp. I can go hands-free, and yet I have a way to use this light. This is actually a Magellan or the Academy brand light system. They had a bunch of different ones, but these two were together, and so it made it just a good combo. There were some batteries, AA batteries included. Now this one has a little thing on the top where you just press it, and then you can press it again, it goes down, press it again, it goes to red, and then it goes to the outside lights, and then it goes to signal. So this just gives you a lot of capability, easy interface, and I like this strap. It's very comfortable, it is adjustable, it has a little keeper here that will pull off if we need it. And then just a standard flashlight. And this is, I believe, a 450 lumen. It's marked right there. It has a rubber sleeve on it and has a rubber head to it. But this gives you about 450 lumens of light, and so it's a decent little flashlight. And of course, obviously, most of us do have flashlights we carry on our EDC, but this gives you another option. Tools. This is a very important part, and your fixed blade knife is the pinnacle. It's something that man has had really from the beginning, even starting out with stone and have gone to metal and beyond, really high quality metals, heat treating. And this is a full tang knife, which you want. Now these are from SOG, and this came in a pack, which it really took care of a number of things. But this is something that you're going to want to have. It does come with a sheath, which is important. Rubberized handles, very comfortable. And then we have a small hatchet. Now, I honestly would prefer a saw because a saw is going to keep you from hurting yourself when you could with a good axe or a hatchet. Has a rubberized handle, of course, with the sheath is important, but this will help you to process wood, and again, it could be used as a self-defense tool. And then there's just a small little pocket knife, and typically, you carry an EDC knife on you, but having redundancy is going to be vital. And then a multi-tool, and this is actually a Gerber, and it's the dime, and it's really small. Now, if I was going to be in an urban environment, I'd want a little bit larger multi-tool. But with this, it does have a pair of pliers, and of course, I think there are 12 tools in this, so it's going to give you a lot of options. But I just wanted a multi-tool, but I didn't want to break the bank. And so this is good quality. And then also we have a folding shovel. And this is something that, of course, U.S. Army has used this style for a long time. And it just folds out, and you have to unscrew it here and then bring out your handle. And of course, it's all under tension right here, but then you tighten it back up, and now you have a good little shovel. And again, the U.S. military used this style shovel for a long time. It does have a saw blade here. This can be used as a weapon as well, and it can do things like dig holes and be used for a lot of different options, especially if you're building a primitive shelter. One thing that it also does is we have to unscrew it again, and then we can turn this, and we have a pick. So now we can dig out dirt or whatever we need to do, and again, a nice weapon. But this is something that has been used for a long time, and I love that it packs away really tight. This could really come in handy in a wintertime situation, especially if you're snowed in or you need to get a tire out that's stuck or something like that. So I keep one of these, actually a U.S. military surplus one, in my car at all times, and it's just one of those things that I feel like that this is going to take care of things that nothing else could do. And we have this small little cover, and so we can put it in there and then pack it away. So that's for tools. Next is medical. Now, medical is vital, but this is not only a first aid kit, it is a survival kit. And this is a waterproof, almost like a dry sack. And the way it attaches, it folds down. So I really like this little setup. They had a number of different ones, but I just saw this one really caught my eye. And honestly, I didn't know what was all in it. There is a card. In fact, with all these items, we're gonna have all the original cards with them so you can see it for the giveaway. But this is a cool little setup. In fact, I opened this up before I got started just to see what was in it. So first, we have a little first aid kit. Honestly, this is a boo-boo kit. It has just Band-Aids, prep pads, different things like that, a little bit of gauze, some Q-tips. This is just something that, little accidents or things that happen, or you need to check something, or you need hygiene. This is going to be a good little option. But then there's a lot more in here. This is the survival kit. Now, there is some redundancy with this, and then there's some items that I didn't include, which are going to be good. But first off is this cordage, which this is not paracord. It's a very lightweight cordage. It does have multi-strands in it, but you can use this. I mean, it is usable. We also have a small pair of scissors, and this will go with your first aid kit. We have some safety pins. Safety pins, again, can be used for multiple items, but it can also be used to attach gauze and splints, things like that. tea light candle. We have a whistle with a compass. And we have a fire steel. It is small and tiny, but you can use it. And you can throw this into your fire kit, or you can just have it separate, and a pair of tweezers. And also, this kit just has so much. It really surprised me. We do have some ice pack, and this is great in case you get injured, and it's instant. This is a small light. Now, one thing I like about this is that you can have a flashlight, or you can have a signal, or it just turns up red here, and you can tie a string to it, which it has included right here, and you can swing it over your head, and it's great for signaling. And so this is a fairly inexpensive, kind of not very durable, so I would really count on having a flashlight, but if I needed some light, I could use it. And then this thing just keeps on coming. We have some triangular bandages. These are definitely part of your first aid kit, and this is part of the glow stick right here. Then we have a poncho. Now we do have a rain jacket, and that's going to be fine. We could actually cover our pack with this if we needed to, or we could just use it as a poncho. And we also have another space blanket. Now these are just the Mylar thin blankets. These will tear, but you can use these. In fact, these are used for medical purposes to keep shock down. And this will keep you warm in an emergency situation, so emergency space blanket. And then we have an abdominal pad, we have an ace bandage, we have some more gauze, and so we have some other items in here that go with your first aid kit. So actually, the first aid part is not bad. I mean, we don't have a tourniquet, we don't have hemostatic agents to stop bleeding, but this will get us through a lot of different situations, and we do have some other ways to be able to use for survival. We got everything back in here. We're just going to twist it up just like a dry sack, and then you can take and hook this up, and it just keeps this secure, and this again is waterproof. This is a little SOL survival kit. I really like this. It's going to be somewhat redundant with some of the other items, but I just thought it was pretty cool. In fact, I bought a separate one just so I could do a review on it. I like SOL. These are Survive Outdoors Longer. They're not real high-end, but they're not cheap. I like these. I mean, they're great for putting into packs. Again, a kind of a dry sack, a little bit different catch, and then we just open it up. Now with this, it just has the sleeve right here. This just seals it up. So with the sleeve, we're gonna pull out our contents. And first we have a whistle, and this is gonna be great for signaling. We have some duct tape. We have a striker, and this can just create a spark, and we can light these little tinder tabs, which this gives us more fire capability. And I'm big about having plenty of this just because you never know what you might need. Also, a signal mirror, which is going to be great in case you're being looked for. And then also we have a compass. A little bit better than that compass on the whistle. We have an emergency space blanket again, and this has orange on one side, Mylar on the other. And we have a small fishing kit with some hooks, and we have some safety pins, and we have some leaders. And this is something that we were getting ready to put together our own fishing kit at Academy, and then happened to see this, and this was even a better option. We will be using our paracord to go through the hooks, because that way we can use it on a pole. The one thing I would like to have is maybe a bobber, because you're going to fashion your fishing rod, your emergency fishing rod, out of just a pole. So, but this is a pretty cool little kit just to pack away. And guys, really, I like this front clear sleeve because I know what's in there, and I want to make sure I fold it down over the top of this and then bring it around. And again, just like a little dry sack, and it is waterproof. Now, hopefully, we can get all this in that bag. Well, guys, here we have the bag. We have everything stuffed in here. I was really concerned that we might not be able to get everything in it, and that includes the tarp. It includes the jacket. I'm going to show you a little bit. Now, we have the water bottle here, and then in these pockets, I have the knife, the little small folding knife, and I have the multi-tool. And so we're just going to put that in there, and then here I have the paracord. And so I just stuffed it in there. It was able to go in. I can get to it if I need to. I put the fixed blade knife here, but I would wear this on my belt. So this is something I would keep definitely on my belt, but it will fit in here. When it comes to this little area right here, I put the Sawyer Mini. And so all the different items that I need were able to go into this sleeve. And so this is my water, and I thought having this up front is going to be the place it needs to be. And then, of course, this pocket, I put my medical, my survival kit, my fire kit, all that is right here, and the emergency space bivvy. So that's in here, and those are more emergency items. Again, items I might need to get to quickly, and I want to think about that on the outside. Right here in this pocket is perfect for the flashlights, and it's at the top. I can get it at night. I'm going to need it, and it's going to be easier to find. Actually, here I didn't put anything. I could put something in here, maybe some glasses or something like that. And then the big compartment, I mean, it's packed out. And this has all the other items. I do have that tarp at the back of the pack, and then I have the cook stove, the rain jacket, the watch cap. I have the shovel and the axe shoved in here. So everything fit in this part. And these are the items, though, that I'm not necessarily going to have to get to right away, but I did put the watch cap up at the top and the rain jacket so I can get to it first. The rest of it, if I'm going to stop to eat or whatever, I can do that, or if I need the shovel, I can get that. And guys, that's it. We put it all in here. I mean, it's definitely a little weighty, but not too unmanageable. And so this is just a great little get home bag. Put this in the back of your car and you can keep it, or you can use it again as a bug out bag. There are some items you're gonna wanna add to it, and really there are some items we could add to this inside. It has enough capability, which again, it's stuffed in a sense, but there is still room. So great little bag. I'm glad this worked out, and it would have been really tough if we wouldn't have been able to put everything in here. If there were straps on the bottom of the pack, you could roll up the tarp and put it on here. Even a tent or a sleeping bag, you can do that as well. So again, this is a fairly inexpensive bag, even though it looks really nice. But with some of the other features that you're going to get with more premium bags, they're just going to give you more options. Guys, here's the receipt, and the total with tax was $461.69. So guys, it's a fun exercise. Even if you're not purchasing the items, going into a store, looking around and figuring out how you could put together a bug out bag. If you're in a grid down situation and you just happen to be near one of those locations, you know, it really helps you to know what you're gonna get. And guys, honestly, you should already have a get home bag or bug out bag set up. We have get home bags in all of our cars, and guys, over and over, we have had to use a lot of the items in here, again, for those personal SHTF. But if everything goes south, hey, you've got the needed supplies. Just gives you a fighting chance. And again, we will be giving this bag away and all the contents on suitsgear.com. Guys, when it comes to fire, it is essential to survival, and having a good fire kit and knowing how to use it is vital for survival situations. And Exotac makes the best fire starters on the market. Made in the USA, down in Winder, Georgia. Using really high-grade aluminum, they machine some really beautiful handles, a lot of different features, replaceable ferro rods, and a number of other different fire starting tools. You get 20% off using Suits20 with a link down below in the description. And a big thank you to Exotac for sponsoring today's video. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. And there we go, and there we go, and there we go. Where are we going? We're going on a survival adventure. But also hunting, camping, fishing. I said fishing, let's say fishing. You know, I went to see the fishing, really, is what I did. And the knife has been around for a long time. Okay. Nope, 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 no. Way to really take the items. Okay,